exactly the same as they've always been for a long time. But for the two of you, do you think anything will feel different being officially wife and wife?
Yeah, I think it will. Not being able to marry the person that you love and the person that you've been with for 18 years, it's been kind of deflating, you know? And this is really something that makes us feel like we're just like everybody else.
What will you two be wearing?
Well, we're not wearing what our girls wanted us to wear.
What did they want you to wear?
They wanted us to wear pink. I believe we're just going to wear some nice pantsuits. Nothing too out of the ordinary.
Lori Franks of Hercules, California, will be getting married again to her partner, Ann Mary Franks. Thanks so much, Lori.
Thank you.
Dennis Mingers and Michael Sestock met each other 17 years ago through the gay men's course in Sacramento. They've been together ever since. Dennis is a former California assemblyman. Michael is a lighting designer, and this won't be their first wedding either.
When Dennis and Michael get hitched on Tuesday, it will be their third time doing so. They join us now. Dennis, how is this time different from the last two times that you guys have met?
This is a really kind of joyous and liberating occasion. In this case, I had the opportunity to sit in for the oral arguments of the Supreme Court. I got to witness the drama of this enormous decision, and now to be getting married, to actualize that decision, it's going to be deeply meaningful.
Michael, I hear you've got quite the guest list. Who's going to be coming to your ceremony?
We have many legislators, we have a few constitutional officers, really well-placed people that are there to help support us and yet celebrate in our country.
Dennis, where is this going to be held and who's marrying you?
The ceremony is going to be held in the auditorium of the Secretary of State, right near the Capitol in Sacramento, and our celebrant is going to be Senator Sheila Kuehl of Santa Monica, who was the first openly gay elected member of our legislature. It suggests that there's a changing mood here in which the whole concept of same-gender marriage is increasingly more accepted to people in California.
You guys have just a few days left. Any last-minute details that need tending to?
We've got printing to do for the program. We've got to get the cake done. But most of all, Mike keeps reminding me that it's symbolic. As it seems to us, we have to remember the reason we're doing this is because we're deeply in love with one another.
Dennis Mingers and Michael Sestock are tying the knot for the third time. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.
People who oppose same-sex marriage are working to pass an amendment to the California Constitution that would ban gay marriage. It would be on the ballot in November. One of the people leading that effort is Pastor Chris Clark of East Claremont Southern Baptist Church in San Diego. How will the marriages that begin next week, how will they affect the campaign?
We are more in favor of traditional marriage and preserving the status quo than we really are against anything else. We're so much in favor of traditional marriage that we want to see and make sure that it's protected in our culture, and the only way we can see that happening is through a constitutional amendment. So as far as what's going to take place next week and over the next several months, we're really not sure exactly what effect that's going to have, positive or negative.
And are your congregants, are they saying, okay, I'm going to go pound the pavement and make sure people get out and vote against this in November?
I think there's some of them that are ready to go. They're ready to speak to their neighbors and their friends about this. In fact, we have 1.1 million signatures out of the state of California that feel strongly enough about it.
What are you doing to pass this amendment?
We're speaking with other pastors. We are praying together with these pastors, and we are working together to energize the people in our pews to preserve what we have as the status quo, which is the definition of marriage being between one man and one woman.
You, I understand, are preaching on this topic on Sunday.
My message is going to be primarily geared around Father's Day and what the standard is for a dad. And one of the things that we find is that a dad is to be a strong husband. He is a role model for his children. When we talk about the context of family, we're talking about children, we're talking about a mother, and we're talking about a father. That definition is at stake. It's at risk right now, radically being disowned and disdained in our culture.
Pastor Chris Clark, thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
movement for the past several years. But why marriage? Why not have a discrimination in the workplace? Why not fight for the right to be with your loved one in the hospital? Why not any issue less fraught than just an emotional overtone? To help us answer that question, we're joined now by George Thompson. He teaches American history at Yale University, and he's also written a book called Why Marriage? The History Shaping Today's Debate Over Gay Equality. Welcome to the program, Professor Chauncey, and let's cut to the chase. Why marriage?
Granting people the right to marry has been a social symbol of their equality and their citizenship. So, for instance, slaves were denied the right to marry, and after emancipation, celebrating and appreciating their marriages was one of the most important expressions of their new freedom. And at the same time, a lot of states then passed laws prohibiting blacks from marrying whites, which was a way of re-symbolizing their continued inequality. Nazis banned Jews from marrying non-Jews. And it was really in response to those sorts of laws that in 1948, in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the UN declared the right to marry and the right to choose one's partner in marriage as a fundamental human right. It's historically been an incredibly powerful marker for both sides in the debate of full gay equality.
So this decision here in California to make same-sex marriages legal, how big of a milestone is this?
It's compelling that it's California, since in 1948, 60 years ago, California's state Supreme Court became the first state court to overturn its state's ban on interracial marriages. And in some ways, the reasoning used in both decisions was similar. This year, California voters faced a constitutional amendment banning gay marriage. 30 years ago, in 1978, they voted on an initiative, the Briggs Initiative, that would have banned or would have required schools to fire gay teachers or any teacher, gay or straight, who expressed tolerance for homosexuality. And 30 years ago, having gay teachers seemed a little weird, even though California voters did turn down that referendum. 20 years ago, the Christian right mobilized huge boycott campaigns against TV sitcoms that had gay characters. And a lot of people thought that was kind of weird. Well, no one really thinks having gay characters in a sitcom is a weird thing today. And I think for those of us in our 50s and older, when we were young, it was just unthinkable that gay people could get married. But when I talk with my students today, even the most conservative of them on foreign policy issues or economic issues just think it's unthinkable that anyone would oppose gay marriage. They've just grown up in such a radically different society that they take it for granted that their gay friends should have the same rights that they do.
As we heard earlier in the program, there are a lot of homosexuals who are thrilled about this moment in history, but are there other gays and lesbians who feel maybe this particular battle wasn't the one to make the top of the list? That there were other issues that might have been better to take on?
Some people have felt it's non-priority. Some people have felt that they don't want to be a part of the institution of marriage, but it's not the only issue that's in play right now.
Well, what are some of the big issues that you see being on the frontiers in the future of the gay rights movement?
Everything from the harassment of openly gay students in high schools to the rights of transgender people to the rights of people with HIV and AIDS. I think that we'll also see a continuation of the great debate that's been taking place in the churches for the last 20 years. That will be probably a central element of the debate in the next years.
George Chauncey is author of the book, Why Marriage? He teaches history at Yale University. Thank you.
Thank you.
1219 KUOW 94.9 News and Information. This is American Life. Amy had been talking to a museum guide.